Hey, what's up YouTube? It's iAzerXD here, and today I'm bringing you my True Draco Demise deck. I went XO at locals yesterday down in Nottingham, and I figured now would be a great time to showcase a deck for you. It runs no extra deck, which is great, especially because it's going to be a good contender in link format. Well, unless the our ban list goes sort of like the OCG ban list, in which case it fucks everything up. But this is what I've got so far, and it's really good, really strong and powerful. So starting things off, we have 2 copies of Masterpiece for True Draco Slaying King. Really, it is an overpowered card. Really, the best way to get over this would be probably kaijuing it, but it doesn't matter either way because you can bring it back and recycle it, so it's all good. But yeah, you only want to play 2 because 3 is very cloggy. Plus, I don't actually have a third one myself, so 2 is perfect. Then we have 3 copies of Dynamite Knight, the Draco fighter. This you have to play this at 3 because it's just so good. On either player's turn, as soon as your opponent activates something, you can just stick a continuous True Draco trap face up or add it to your hand. So it's really good, and it's a 2/5 beta without diagram. So yeah, very good. Then we have 2 copies of Majesty Maiden. Like Dynamite, when your opponent activates a card or an effect on either player's turn, this one lets you add a True Draco monster from deck to hand, so you can search for your Masterpiece, your Dynamite, or the Ignis, which we play 1 of. Like Dynamite, the condition is your opponent has to activate an effect, but instead of doing a trap card, it does a spell card. So we typically play this at 1. I've seen people run something else or not even run this at all. But to be honest, playing 2 Majesty and 1 Ignis is a decent ratio, because if you go second, this 1 Maiden's an easy side out, and then you've still got 1 of each to play with, so it's all good. That's actually the only monsters we run, 8 monsters, because we play the Demise engine. But then we have 3 copies of Dragonic Diagram, a really expensive card, and it's sort of needed to make the deck work. I've seen budget decks, but they don't actually seem to have the consistency that it would have with Diagram. Following that up, we have 3 Terraforming, super rare Terraforming. When I originally built this deck, I was playing 3 Diagram, 3 Terraforming, and 1 Domain. And since then, I've started the Domain out. So you can get away with 3 Diagram and 2 Terraforming. But like I said, it just offers an easy side out, really. Then we have 3 copies of Card of Demise. Another fairly expensive card. Really, really good as well in this deck because you play so little monsters. Next we have 3 copies of True Draco Heritage. So you get to plus up to a maximum of 3. It gives you an additional tribute summon when you play the effect, and if it's sent from a field to a graveyard, you pop any spell or trap on the field. So really powerful. Definitely has to be at 3. To be honest, a lot of the True Draco stuff is at 3. All the spells, all the traps, the staples at 3. Then we have 2 of this thing, Draco Phoenix. This is the recycler. You target 3 in your graveyard, 3 True Draco cards, shuffle them into deck and draw 1. It offers you an extra tribute summon, and when it leaves the field and goes to graveyard, you pop a spell or trap on field. So yeah, you don't actually really need to main deck any spell or trap removal like Twisters, Cyclones or whatever, because your spells will more than likely deal with it on their own. Next we have 3 Duality. I've considered knocking this down to 2, and even if I don't, the third is always an easy side out, going second, game 2 or whatever. So yeah, 3 Duality. Not quite the ultimate rare that I want, but 1 secret, 2 super, it'll do for now. Then we play 2 Desires, 2 Potted Desires. Desires, good card. If you're gonna play 2 like I do, then you probably want to search out at least 1 Masterpiece right off of the bat. But yeah, it's one or both is an easy side out. A very easy side out, really, because you don't want to be popping off both. Or you try not to pop one off, and you definitely do not want to, activate the second one in the same game. So these are easy side outs as well for like, well, you can run anything. You can run Chalice or, your Ash Blossoms or like that. Then we have the 1 upstart. Then we have the 1 Monarch Stormforth. Really good card. And it's rightfully limited at 1. Finally, onto traps. We have our 3 copies of True King Return. The best card in the deck, barring Masterpiece, I would say. Purely because you have a special summon from the graveyard of 1 True Draco monster per turn. But then you are locked out of special summons, which doesn't really matter in this deck anyway, because this is the only card which will give you a special summon. It also lets you tribute summon on your opponent's turn. And when it leaves the field and goes to graveyard, you pop any monster on the field. So not only can you tribute this in a monster for Masterpiece on your opponent's turn, but as soon as this hits a graveyard, you then pop any of their monsters if you want to. So it's really good. Then we have 3 copies of True Draco Apocalypse. So this one lets you destroy a True Draco card on the field, and then your opponent's monsters that are currently on the field, they permanently lose half their attack. And obviously, depending on what you pop, spell or trap, you're going to have another pop-off effect as well. So yeah, that's really good. I've seen people play this at 2. I want to play it at 3 in the pure version until I find something that, is equally as effective. But yeah, it's my choice to run 3 of this. Then we have 3 copies of Ultimate Rare Solemn Strike. And that is not cheap, let me tell you that. But yeah, Strike is Strike. You want it at 3. It's very good. And then finally we have a scrubby copy of Skill Drain. I kind of want the Ultra, but no one seems to have it. But yeah, it's a continuous trap, so you can actually just tribute it off for one of your True Draco monsters. Or you can pop it with Diagram if you don't need it. But yeah, it's okay. So yeah, that's the main deck. 40 cards exactly. I have no issue with the deck right now. It's relatively consistent. My only issue is that I'm an idiot when it comes to siding out cards. And sometimes when I side, I lose consistency. But that's, that's an issue for me. So, onto side deck, we have a 3 Ash Blossom. Really, really good card. Probably could get away with siding with 2. Because you never want to actually open up more than 2 if you side them in. And obviously comboing off that with Demise. If you draw it with Demise, you're then just dropping it down into grave on end phase. So probably cut this down to 2, but I'm going to stick with 3. Because, I have the cards, so why not? 2 Ghost Ogre. I would consider knocking this up to 3 because it's such a good card in the mirror. And it's just really sexy in Secret Rare, and unfortunately I only have the Super, which is a shame. But yeah, good card. Very good card. You can hit Barrage, you can hit Diagrams, Tenki, whatever you want. No, sorry, not Tenki. Barrage, Diagram, and then obviously all your opponent's True Draco spell or traps. So really good card. We then have the 1 Maxi, Ultimate Rare. Picked this up at Nationals. Cost me, well, it didn't cost me a lot in terms of money, but part cash, part trade. So there we go. Then we have 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. I've been told, to bump it up to 3. But I think 2 is a decent ratio, considering the fact that it's only really effective, like really, really effective in the mirror. And, not everybody's playing pure True Draco. So 2's fine, or at least in my opinion. But if I get a 3rd, then I can probably, mix things up a little bit. We then have 1 Raigeki, Ultimate Rare also, just for board wipe. Then we have my Domain of the True Monarch. Side this in against mainly Zoo, or like when I face my friend Luke at locals and he's playing Raid Raptors, just fucking chuck this in and watch him squirm. Then we have 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Much like Ash Blossom, you can actually cut this to 2 if you want more room for certain things. But it's, if you're coming up against, well, say Zodiac, and you know, you just decide all 3 strikes for 3-dimensional barrier and go first, and hopefully, you know, get it. But yeah, definitely worth cutting it to 2 if you don't have 3 copies, or if you don't want to actually run 3 copies. And then finally we have 2 Scrubby Gold Storming Mirror Force. To be honest, these are just sort of filler for now. I don't actually know what else I can decide which is going to be effective, at least not for another week or so. But yeah, that's what I got so far. So anyway guys, that has been my True Draco Demise deck profile. If you guys like this, you know, just hit that like button and leave a comment below. Yeah, I'm going to try and upload a few more videos. And if you guys haven't, then you know, check out some of my other ones. But yeah, it's definitely a fun deck to play, really powerful as well. Definitely beat my DDDs, which is a bit of a shame really, because I really still like DDDs. And when the new set comes out with all the new the executive extra deck cards, I'll be playing DDDs again, so I'll give you an updated deck profile then. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get a few more deck profiles, upload a few this week. Try and go for a video every 1 to 2 days, just for a bit of content. But yeah, this is iAzraXD signing off, and I hope you enjoyed the video.